Welcome back, boys. I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and I'm sorry, but for today's video, it's gonna be a big video. We're gonna go straight in with things, starting with the news, and the big news coming out over this past 24 hours is that on the 20th of November, Kaz is gonna hear our appeal. Now, this is big news, you guys. This is massive news because this tells us immediately that if our appeal is successful and it's overturned, it means that we're back in business this January. And it's looking like Lampard has 150 million to spend. Of course, with the player sales of Morata and Eden Hazard, of course, there's money in the bank right now, you guys. And you might be thinking to yourself, but Nini, I thought we were getting a ban. What's this talk about appeals getting overturned? Well, you guys, if you see it this way, we've already served a one-window ban last summer. And of course, if our appeal is overturned, it means that our ban's going to be reduced by another window. It's simple math. 1 minus 1 equals 0. That means that we are going to be back in business this January. Now, I understand that I do sound very confident. And the reason why I feel confident is because when we got our ban in the first place, it was a bit lenient. It was kind of funny because we're still allowed to sign under 16 players. They can still register for the club. And that's kind of baffling to me because I thought we got the ban in the first place due to how we sign young players. We know how this football game goes. It gets a bit sticky sometimes, boys. But on that note, what exactly does this mean for the future? Boys, I think we need to brace ourselves. I think in January, we're going to be signing players again. And I understand it, you know. Of all the times to have a window, is now the right time. You know, due to the transfer ban, it's been the sole reason why young, top, high potential talent have finally got the opportunities they've deserved for so long at this club. And we're seeing these guys exceeding expectations. They've really been amazing. And if we sign players, is that going to affect the squad balance? Is that going to affect the competitive nature of the young players? Could they start to develop cynical attitudes if they're going to start seeing expensive signings playing over them? Well, these are all fair questions to think about. Of course, we can survive going without spending for another window. I'm going to play devil's advocate, and I want to give you guys a different perspective to think about. Let's keep it straight. Lampard has inherited this squad. And I am stressing inherited and I'm stressing squads. They're both keywords. And when we compare Klopp and Pep, they were both managers that also inherited squads. And look how long it took both managers to tailor their squads in their image. And the reason why I am bringing up this point is because I see Lampard making a head start in tailoring his squads this January. The reality is a lot of players will be leaving the club in the next window and in the window this summer. Players like Willian, Giroud, Pedro, Ross Barkley, Rudiger, Batshuayi and Marcus Alonso are all players that could possibly be leaving the club in the not too distant future. And when you break down the positions they play in, that's 2 strikers, 2 wingers, 1 midfield player, 1 left back and 1 centre back. And what's the chances that all the players that we're being linked with fill those positions? And that's what I'm really trying to explain. We shouldn't see the next window coming as a window that's going to stifle the young players. No, we have to see this window as Lampard tailoring the squad to how he wants it. There's been a massive reason why Lampard has really stressed competition between the players. You need that competition at big clubs, especially when you're a young player. The younger you understand and accept that mentality you need to have, the better you're going to be for it. And that's because these young players need to have that mental toughness. And that's why Mason Mount in yesterday's press conference came out stating that if new players did sign, the players are going to understand it. They understand what this club is all about. They understand that they want to win trophies as well. And the most important thing is they understand that if you're going to play for a club like us, you need to understand that you're constantly fighting for your position. But anyway, you guys, we're going to continue on with the news because Matt Law came up with an article yesterday. This is old news. I'm going to tell you guys straight. This is really old news. You would have seen a tweet from Carefree Youth a few months ago detailing the players we're looking at already. I've spoken about them in live streams before, so it's not really a surprise. However, it's still really reassuring that the club are looking at the right candidates, the right players, and the best options to help improve the first team and improve the squad as well. So for the next point, you guys, I'm going to be breaking down every single target that's been linked with the club. Now, before I get into things, if you do like today's video, do not forget to smash that like button. Help me get over 2,000 likes for today's video. And the first player announced is none other than young Jadon Sancho. Now, is this really a surprise? Come on, you guys, of course it isn't. He's always been a massive target for this club, and his options currently are staying at Dortmund, or either signing for Man United or signing for us. Now, it's quite clear that we'd be natural front runners to sign the player. I mean, look at the club right now, and look at how we're playing. Look at the young players in the team as well. Comparing us to Man United, it's a different scale, you guys. There's levels to this stuff, yeah? There are levels to this stuff, and Jadon Sancho understands that himself. Listen, Sancho has so many friends at the club right now. Just a few days ago, him and Callum were seen getting their haircuts together, and you can see that they've got a real connection and a real friendship, and quite a lot of the Chelsea players get along with him. Tammy Abraham, Reece, and many more. And on top of all of this, it's come out that he's a fan of the club. I mean, honestly, the emotional connection is there, and I think that's going to give us an advantage over any other rivals. Now, of course, realistically, the price is going to be the stumbling block. With Dortmund commanding over 100 million for Ousmane Dembele, well then, it's only natural that they are going to look to command more money for the player. As we should know by now, price does not matter. If he costs 150 million next summer, you guys, I don't care. We pay the money. We've got the money right now. We've got the finances. We've got the manager. We've got the system as well. We have all the right attributes to get the very best out of Jadon Sancho. And oh, come on, you guys. Imagine Hudson and Sancho playing in the first team for us, playing for us and then playing for England. It seems like this needs to happen, and it's no surprise why he's such a massive target for the club for next summer. Now, the next target revealed was none other than Wilfried Zaha. Zaha is seen as a backup move for now. He's a backup move in case a move for Moussa Dembele from Lyon doesn't go through. And the reason for that is the values that Zaha brings. He's able to play down the left, down the right, and as a number 9 as well. He's proven to be one of the best attacking players in the Premier League, and for me, he's personally ready to go and play for a bigger club. Now, his consistency ranks very high for dribble success rate and attempts, but what I really like about Zaha the most is his ability to create goals and opportunities for himself. That's what the very best players do. And when he's playing for Crystal Palace, a team that don't really create anything for him, that skill comes out to effect even more. But the most important thing that tells me that Zaha could make it here if we did sign him is his mentality. Look at how this guy plays the game. He's constantly playing as if his life's on the line. He's angry, he's emotional, he's involved. And I think that's the type of characteristics that Lampard likes to have in his squad. Zaha would fit that. And deep it for a second, you guys. Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, Zaha and Sancho with Tammy up front. Zaha that's able to play across multiple positions. Again, with how many games we're going to play from next season, they could all get consistent game time. The next target is a target that I've already spoken about. His name is Ben Chilwell, and it's clear that Marcos Alonso most likely is not going to be here for the long term. With interest in Inter Milan for the player, I wouldn't be surprised to see a reunion with him and Antonio Conte, and this would then free up a spot at left back. And as I've constantly been stressing, with how demanding the fullback position is for the biggest teams in the world, in modern day football, you really need to have 2 class options for each position. Ben is a player that most definitely would complement the system. He can run both boxes, he's very quick, he's very good aerially, and he's good defensively as well. Of course, he can make improvements, but he's young. No one's supposed to be world class at 22 years old. And even though Ben is going to cost a fortune, we know that Leicester are very notoriously difficult to negotiate with, but I think with the project that Lampard is building, I think it's going to be too enticing for Ben to say no to that. Now, personally, I think Emerson is the better player, but as I've been stressing, you need to have 2 top quality options for each position, and for that reason, I think Ben would be a good signing if the club are really serious about going for him. Now, moving on to the final 2 targets. I've spoken about this guy before. His name is Moussa Dembele, the striker that plays for Lyon. Now, there's interest between us and Man United for the player. Listen, Dembele, if you're serious about your career, Do not even consider Old Trafford. But anyway, Dembele is an advanced forward. He's very capable in all aspects of his game. He wins aerial balls. He can hold the ball up. He makes runs in behind as well. He can run the channels. And what I really like about the player from a personal point of view is that he's quite unique. I haven't really seen strikers like him that love to run with the ball and get past their man, and I like that Moussa Dembele loves to do that. But anyway, you guys, we've had long-term interest in this player ever since the player was still at Fulham, and we've been close to actually signing him on a permanent. But anyway, this move depends on whether Giroud leaves now or leaves in the summer. But Giroud, he's able to sign a pre-contract agreements with other clubs in the next 2 months. And we know that Lyon have had a lot of interest in the player. So, potentially, could there be some business? A swap deal? But anyway, you guys, to move on with the final player that we have been linked with, his name is Nathan Ake. And I'll tell you guys what I've been hearing personally. Frank Lampard is a massive fan of Nathan Ake. And, you know what? I'm not going to confirm or deny, but I have heard that maybe there have been some conversations between him and the player. That's all I'm going to say. But you might be thinking, Nini, why are we going to look at Nathan Ake? How does that make any sense? We've got 4 great defenders. We've got Antonio Rudiger. I'll tell you guys that both Paris Saint-Germain and Napoli are interested in Rudiger. I've heard that Tuchel has always been a massive fan of the player. But I think the reason why Ake would be a sensible signing is that we need a left-footed defender. And the bonus is Ake has that. But also Ake can play left back and he can play in midfield. He seems like the most obvious signing to make, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's the favourite to sign first. And you guys, that's going to end Matt Law's report. They're the 5 major players that we are looking at right now. Times are really exciting. You know, the scouts are working overtime, preparations are being made to, get players ready to sign. It's going to be really exciting, you guys. Big things are still happening, and, looking at the future of this club right now, it's never been at a more positive place. When you see the system that our players are playing in, when you see the high quality, high potential youth that we're using, when you see the amount of money the club's generating as well, from player sales and from commercial activities as well, the club has never been in a better place to start dominating. And I think as a fan base, we've got hints and glimpses of this style of domination. When Mourinho first came, the football we played, the team we had, we were the best team. It didn't go to plan because of poor planning from the top. They've come back to reality. They've hired the people that know what they're doing. And honestly, you guys, things are looking really remarkable with this club right now. Today's looking good, but tomorrow's looking even better. On that note, you guys, I'm going to keep it moving. Thank you for watching. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. See you guys in a bit.